Send your wives to Target. Send the kids to the concession stand.
It's garage time. Here we go. Holy heat wave this week.
Oh, man, it's nice, though.
Yeah, what was it? 92, 93, something like that, Thursday, and then windy again.
Yeah, it cooled off a lot today. I got in the pool the other day.
You did?
Yeah, it was a 72. I don't think I found my balls yet, but it was pretty nice while I was in it.
So Saturday it warmed up a little bit, right?
Yeah, it was nice in the sun.
You know, so got there, you started it was like 80, then dropped back down like 76 or something that night. But hey, the pool was open.
It's the start.
Yeah, so going off that heat wave, we had cookouts at Kyle's house. The sister's back in town. Shout out to Amanda. Safe travels back.
Yep, she's traveling back right now. Long drive, man.
Yeah.
And the kids have school tomorrow, so that's
well, that's the reason they were going back early, right?
Yeah, they're going to basically sleep in the car, and then they have finals in the morning, which is like...
They wanted to go back to have finals. Like, man, what kind of kids are these? You know?
Oh, yeah.
My kid would tell me to go to, Oscar finals. Like,
I think that says something about Illinois. Like, do you guys want to hang out in Illinois a little longer, or do you want to go take your finals? Mom, let's go take our finals.
Like, I don't want to be here any longer.
Right.
Yeah. So, as you guys know, we got a guest today. Mr. Keegan Steinkamp, all the way from Carthage, Illinois. 24-year-old alderman. Tell us what it's like to be successful.
I'm still at that. I'm still trying to find out how to be successful. Yeah, no, it's never stopping. It's never ending. So.
No, have you watched any of our podcasts yet?
I have watched some of them, yes.
All right, let's listen to advice. Here we go. What has being a parent, coach taught you?
A lot. It's taught me that I don't know shit, personally. Like, I'd like to say it taught me some patience, but hell, I'm a little bit 45 minutes late to this podcast because it hasn't taught me a whole lot.
Yeah, well,
but,
you know, I think it could teach you things if you want to learn them.
I think in all seriousness, it teaches you a lot.
It
teaches you humility. It teaches you, it does teach you patience. It teaches you how to live for somebody beside yourself. And I think more so as a coach, you know, we were just talking. Did you start coaching when Bryson started rec ball, or did you coach before that?
Yeah, that would have been the first year. So when Bryson's first, I think T-ball was the first sport he played at 3. Not the first thing I coached.
So that would have been you and I, both of our first years coaching, because that would have been Bentley's first
year. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what he did.
9 years for each of us.
That's it. It was way longer than that.
I know. But
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but
some days it seems long.
Well, you think about it though, 9 years of 3 sports.
Right.
You know.
That's a lot. I mean, it is.
You're coaching baseball, T-ball, whatever in the summer, flag football, and then some form of rec basketball, and then you get the 2 months off, you're right back to it, you know?
Right. Well, not only that, but the last couple of years I've coached, you know, at least T-ball, softball, and baseball. I've had 2 or 3 teams at a time. So
yeah, you have.
That makes the seasons longer too. But what I was going to say is being a coach and not just coaching your own kid, which is rewarding, but coaching other people's kids, and you have some of this being an official with other people's kids, is it does teach you a lot of humility, teach you a lot of patience, and kind of even more rewarding to be out there helping somebody else's kid too.
Right,
you know, instead
exactly.
of just your own.
If you're there to coach just your kid, you're probably not a good coach.
And we've seen it.
Yeah,
I'm sure you've seen it. There's been people out there, dad coaches, mom coaches, and they're hyper focused on their kid. I've seen it as bad as their kid doesn't show up and they don't show up.
But exactly.
I'm a coach of the team. It doesn't matter if my kid's there or not.
Yep.
So,
actually, hitting on that, you know, my 12U team, we played in our league tournament last year. My kid was on vacation with his mom. I was coaching the tournament. You know, I'm not there just for my kid. I'm trying to build a program. When these kids get to high school, I've done the correct thing to get them there. You know.
Well, in that game, I think I mentioned on here, our tournament game last year for baseball, it was 3.5 hour game for 10 years. It was a long fucking game.
That's a long time.
And my kid was homesick. So, like, I drove an hour to go to that game, sit there for 3.5 hours, and my kid wasn't even in the dugout. But it was never even a question to me. And I'm not tooting my own horn, but it's like, you know, it teaches you. You got this responsibility for other people's kids, too.
So you haven't had much coaching experience, and you have a kid yet.
Nope.
But you're an uncle?
I'm an uncle. Yep. I've coached 1 season for football.
Okay.
And I enjoyed it. It was 3rd and 4th graders.
Okay.
I mean, it taught me a lot of patience because I don't have a kid.
Yeah.
It was fun though because you had those kids who fundamentally aren't there yet, and you get them the ball, and they go score a touchdown, and their smile is just as bright as anything. And it makes me feel good that I can impact a life like that without really impacting a life, if that makes sense. You know?
So I'm gonna hit up on a funny football story since we're bringing it up. So my last 2 coaching flag football, we went undefeated, and I actually had to coach against Kyle's team.
Oh man, I love this.
And they didn't have enough
I know where
kids,
you're
right?
going with this.
So I send them my kid.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I won't be the asshole that gives up somebody else's.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what he does with my kid? First play of the game.
Halfback sweep for a touchdown with his own
My
kid.
kid against I was pissed.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm like, good shit. Good job, I guess. You know, like,
Yeah.
way to juke out your own teammates, asshole.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
That
so,
was awesome.
it was nuts. Like, it was a fun game, though.
It was a fun game.
Is that the only time you scored that game?
No, I think there were a couple more, but
Well,
we pretty handily got our butts kicked that year. You
I
had a lot of
see,
speed.
man.
You had a lot of speed on your team.
Yeah.
And in flag football for youth, speed kills.
Yeah, and I had one kid that could throw the ball 40 yards.
Mhm.
So
Right.
as long as I could get one of my kids deep enough,
dominate.
it was done.
Mhm.
Like, and I tried not to just do that every time. Like, I want my kids to understand that, yeah, we can win this game whenever we want, but I want you to learn the fundamentals of the game, like you said.
Yep.
You know, hitting on the fundamental stuff. So, but yeah, patience is probably the biggest thing.
I think so. I
And
think
communicating. I think communicating is another one, you know.
Well, and I think if there was another big thing I would put, especially being a parent and a little bit of a coach too, and probably an official, it forces you to look at yourself almost as a mirror. Like you see the way the kids see you, you see the way the players see you.
Oh, yeah,
And it
yep.
makes you take that kind of critical look at yourself. You're like, man, am I being an asshole here? Am I doing something right? Am I setting a good example? Did I come across okay? Did I communicate well, like you said? I think that's a huge thing
Yeah.
too.
But I think nowadays the hardest thing for me to learn was the way I grew up, the way you grew up, maybe even you at the tail end of it. The hard nose, getting yelled at, and just getting right back up and going is no longer a thing.
Right.
Like these kids, you yell at them nowadays, they need a mental health day from school the next day. You know, like they're like,
Yep.
oh my gosh, like it's just like dude, I yell because I care. And they're like, no, that shows that you don't care now. It's like, wait, what? Like farm eggs and meat from some farmers. So big on supporting local economy, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, egg prices are going up. Meat's obviously outrageous. If you're gonna spend that kind of money, you might as well support the farmer next door or somebody in the community kind of thing. And I already do this pretty well. Like, I haven't bought, or maybe my wife has, I personally have not bought any meat that hasn't come from a farmer in probably 5 or 6 years.
Really.
So,
Well, it's convenient to be able to go to Walmart and, or Hy-Vee or wherever the case may be and buy the meat that's prepackaged, ready to go. But
Right, yep.
I will say, so eggs, I get farm fresh eggs, and mainly because eggs are so expensive. And the farm fresh eggs, I mean, they're a different color. You crack it open, it immediately looks better.
Right.
But meat, I personally buy a lot of meat from the Amish,
Okay.
which I still think supports somebody other than big company.
Yep.
But their prices are pretty reasonable too. And I still think, just channeling that money down to the people that need it.
well, the thing is I'm assuming you're talking about the Dutchman store.
I do go to the Dutchman's a
Yeah.
lot.
So
yeah.
you could buy a whole loin, and you can cut up your own slices.
Exactly.
You know, okay, this one I want the thicker slices, next one I want the thinner, and then you can freeze what you want. Like,
Right.
I think that's the best part of that.
And with having a family, I think it's, if you're willing to buy something in bulk and then cut your
Right.
own meat down from it, it's a huge
Yep.
price saver.
So, and I think that's my thing is, most people say, well, I can't buy it from a farmer because you're buying a quarter or half at a time, and it's $1,000, $1,500.
Right.
I get it. But my thought is, I look at it differently. Like, okay, so when I buy this, now for the next 4 or 5 months, I'm just saving that back up again. So
Right.
rather than spending $15 at Walmart or $15 at Hy-Vee, that $15 is going into a bank account and sitting and waiting.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a wash for me. I should buy more farm fresh eggs. I don't. My wife goes to Walmart and gets them.
Well, and we live, and we've said this on a lot of episodes, but just in case there's new viewers, we live in a part of Illinois. Everybody thinks Chicago. We live in a part of Illinois that's surrounded by, cattle, corn,
Yep.
farms, and being able to support, being able to give that back it's huge. Much
Do
better.
you do the same thing?
So
or-
actually, my mom and stepdad own a farm, one job farms, and they have chickens, meat chickens, and bees. They have 23 hives.
Wow.
So right now they're in the process of distributing this honey to all the local businesses in Carthage.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have about 60 hens for laying chickens, and then each year they have 150 meat chickens that they butcher. So I just grab the eggs and the honey from them, and I
yeah.
just take it home, you know. So
Who's out in the shed
Yeah,
right now?
exactly,
Keegan's
right?
out there
Yeah.
doing eggs.
yeah,
Well, and a lot of people have said, and you know, something I don't inject into this a lot, but coming from a medical background, people that have seasonal allergies or issues with pollen or things like that, using locally grown honey, is that the right term? Locally
Yes,
grown honey?
yes, correct.
Yeah, using locally grown honey can kind of expose you to that pollen and stuff and help with your allergies.
No kidding.
Yeah. So, because you're getting it into your system without, you know, all of the inflammation and
Right.
everything.
Yeah.
So,
A
yeah.
healthier way of putting it in your system. Would that be the way to say that?
Yeah, and then you're kind of exposed to it so that you're not just breathing the pollen in, getting the itchy eyes, runny nose shit that everybody in Illinois
Yeah,
has.
yeah. Every time something changes.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Every time the
So-
weather changes.
Yeah, so no, I like it. Good talk. I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
Cool fact to learn there. So, can I buy chickens from them then?
yes, you can. Yep.
That might be cool. Never done that before.
Like pets, or you're gonna eat them.
Yes. I'm gonna keep it, get my kids attached to it, then butcher it right in front
Oh
of them.
man. So next episode, we're sitting here recording, and you got like a chicken on your shoulder.
No,
Say
as food, like because I have another tweezer now, so
Yeah,
I might as well put something in it.
makes
I was
sense.
like, oh, chicken. Like, I like chicken.
Yeah, it's very good.
Barbecue chicken on the grill. It's probably my favorite thing.
And I don't know how other people live, to be honest, because to me this never seemed like a concept that I put a lot of thought into. But like every meal has to have meat, or at least,
Oh,
or at least a
yeah, yeah.
protein. You know, at least a protein. But
No, we have to have meat. We're not
Especially-
vegetarian down here.
well, I was thinking like breakfast. Like, does an egg? Do you count it as meat if you're just having eggs? I think
I
yes.
would I guess, throw in sausage or something.
Right, exactly.
yeah.
So I feel like every meal has to have meat. So being able to stock up, fill the deep freeze, that's a big thing.
But so, plan a vacation of some kind.
Try.
Kyle threw this at me today, and I'm like, yeah, I'm trying, but it doesn't work. So, you don't have family or anything.
You.
Do you,
You.
my bad. Keegan, you know, whatever. Do you go out like high school buddies? Do you guys like go on like day trips or guy trips or anything?
We do golf trips.
That right there got me sold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds
Yeah.
like a good thing.
Yeah, we're going down to the Ozarks this year, and
Oh.
I can't remember the course.
How do I fit into this group? Can I go?
You just come along. We'll take you
Oh.
in. So
There
yeah.
you go.
I might be divorced after it, but so you go.
Tell
Go
your
to,
wife before you go.
how many people going?
There is 4 of us.
Four?
Yep.
Decent. That's about right there. You don't want too many. So,
Right.
So go down there. But weekend of golf.
Weekend of golf. Yep, Saturday and Sunday. So
Sounds like music to my ears.
Well, I think just getting away and doing something.
Oh,
I mean,
100%. Yeah.
We've done the last couple of years where we've gone down to Ocean Isle.
Yep.
I've seen my sister who lives down in Gulf Shores. We mentioned her earlier. But
Yep.
you don't have to make a huge destination.
No,
out of
no,
it,
no.
You know, even just taking the time off and spending with your family is something.
Yeah.
You know, that PTO is there for a reason.
You know, and I was actually thinking about it, like trying to look around the 4th of July. I'm like, we should go down to this water park,
Which one's that?
Springfield Knights Action Park.
Oh yeah, Knights Action Park. Yeah.
You know, it's a decent
Yeah.
one. It's usually very packed. I'm like, we've never done something like that.
Right.
It's always over the extra or under.
And
And we don't do any of the middle line stuff. I'm like, well, maybe we should do something more like that, you know?
Well, like Keegan said, just the day trip.
Right,
You know, just
exactly.
being able to get somewhere within a day and make a weekend or make a couple of days out of it is still something.
Right.
You know.
Actually, a day trip I've been looking at, and I've been looking at it for 2 years now, is Casey, Illinois.
Okay, what's in Casey, Illinois?
Literally the biggest of everything.
Really?
Pencils, like a giant mailbox that you can climb up in. Like, it's awesome. It's all outdoor touristy stuff.
That's pretty cool.
You know, and I mean, obviously, I don't think just driving down there to do it would be enough to, like, that's why I haven't done it.
Right.
So it needs to be like on a way to something.
You're
But
going somewhere else.
somebody I know just went down there a couple weeks ago, and it was raining, and like, oh, it's not that good now. I'm like, I've always wanted to go there. Like, I saw it on Facebook one day, and I'm like, oh, that'd be cool. Like,
Yeah.
you can climb up in this stuff, and it's like the world's biggest this or that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, just something goofy that would be fun.
Well, and I know I brought up and I immediately sold you. So for like people that don't know, because this is episode 13, we probably won't talk about this until like episode 37 or something, but huge Christmas guy. Like just super into Christmas, right? He's probably going to film several episodes wearing some kind of stupid fucking sweater, but
just dressed up as Santa, who knows?
Just a little ways away is Santa Claus, Indiana.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, we used to go there, and it's got, it's a holiday world. I mean, the whole town is kind of Christmas themed, but they've got this amusement park, and it's like part of it is Halloween Town, part of it is, Christmas Town, part of it's the 4th of July, whatever they call that, and then they just have the holiday spot, which is a whole bunch mixed in. But yeah, I mean, that would be something. I think it's like a 6-hour drive, a weekend getaway. That would be something.
Oh, heck yeah, I'm down.
So
have me at Christmas, man.
Christmas.
I'm ready to go.
He's sitting on Santa's
Christmas
lap
in
in
June.
July.
Like, yeah, no. So I'm with you though. Always plan something that way. And you don't want to rush your life, but you have something to look forward to.
And it can't be all work all the time.
I feel like, I mean, you own your own business. You're busy in nursing. I mean, my busy season with work. All we do is work, right?
Right.
Well, I mean, he's obviously involved in other stuff outside of work, so aren't we. So you get off work, then you go do your other jobs that are free. You don't get paid for these. So, all right, well, let's get on to the sports. Kind of want to hit on this one a little bit. So Keegan here is an official, so we're going to talk about how we got into officiating to start this off.
Yeah.
So for me, I started doing bases for baseball when I was a junior or sophomore in high school.
Okay.
I can't remember what age I was. I started driving the summer going into my sophomore year, so I feel like that's what it was. I would have been 16.
So you're just looking for something to do to get in the car.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And I started doing it for $15 a game doing the bases. So,
Nice.
I mean, I remember I'd do 3 nights a week, and I thought it was rich as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it got me everything I needed.
Oh yeah, or gas is $1 now.
I got $1.90 when I started driving, something like that. But so that's when I started doing that, and then obviously I did that through high school. Obviously played high school baseball, and that's how I got into just doing bases. It was like, oh, I helped me learn the game and all that stuff. And I went to WIU for college, and I was down at the rec one day, and this guy was playing basketball, and I'm a terrible basketball player. I don't know why you would ask me to ref it by watching me play basketball, but that's kind of how it happened. And he's like, hey, you want a job refing basketball? I'm like, is it here? Like, because I didn't want to ref college kids.
Right.
Like, pick the intramural games and stuff. Did not look fun to me. No, like 5th and 6th grade and stuff. I'm like, oh, like, it's like $55 a night. I'm like,
Okay.
what consists of a night? He's like, well, if you don't have to leave home, you can be home by 8:30. I'm like, yeah, sign me up. Like, it's like 2 hours, And that's how I got started doing that, and I did that for like 2 or 3 years, maybe even 4. And then back then, we didn't have a shortage of officials. So you didn't just get a varsity game the first year.
Right.
You had to build up to it. And I went through all these trials and tribulations of trying to, I hated it for a while. I did some tournaments, and I get yelled at. And as a young kid, I was very temperamental, would be the right word, And so I stuck it out, kept going. Ended up having a kid and working night shift, and didn't work as many games as I wanted to. And then about 2014, 15, when I got basketball, I picked it up big time, and really started putting the effort forth to make myself a good basketball official. And now here we are, 10 years later, and I actually do not do baseball and softball anymore. I have my on inactive.
Oh, inactive.
Yeah. So, I mean, I could still technically go do them, I guess, but I'm not actively trying to find games.
Right.
So I did my first high school regional this past season for basketball, and then we'll see where the rest of it goes. So I actually remember working Keegan's first year with him. So what got you into reffing?
Yeah, so in my 7th, 8th grade year, a best friend, his dad ran the YMCA in town. And so every winter they'd always do a basketball program. It was 7 weeks. Mm-hmm. And they always looking for help. And so I decided, you know what, I'm going to go out, just help, he's there, the son's there, and ever since then I fell in love with it. I did every weekend, Saturday and Sunday, all day long.
Really?
And I'm like, this is what I want to do. Not as a full-time job, of course.
Right, yeah, I know what you mean.
But I enjoyed it, and I turned 17 and got my license, and since then I've every year doing it. So I got my first postseason last year.
I got a postseason before me.
So you
Well,
just,
yeah.
it's people you gotta know, right? You
Right.
know. So.
I just want people to know, like, must be doing something right and I'm doing something wrong.
Well, I mean, we were going to come up to that, but yeah, go ahead.
So, and then actually we've had some really good compliments these last couple of years. We did some games together. So he actually officiated your daughter's game this past year.
Okay.
The one
Yeah.
in Harb that was the other guy didn't do a very good job.
Oh, yeah.
Were you there that
I
night?
yeah. I don't think
His
I
daughter-
was there that night. I
Uh-huh.
missed quite a few,
But
unfortunately.
his daughter was on that team.
But yeah,
Okay.
she was
So,
on that team.
And one of our really good friends was the coach of that team.
Right.
So I'm sitting there, I'm in Carthage getting text messages about this game going on. Like, dude, this guy's refereed it and he has no business being here. He's not even dressed properly, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, so I'm texting people trying to find out who the fuck's working the game.
Right. Who is this?
And people are like, Keegan. I'm like, I will beat his ass. Like, he's way better than that. So then I'm like, screw it. I just shoot the athletic director over there a text. I'm like, who's working tonight? He's like, the one you're asking about is so-and-so.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, I don't know who it is. So I started doing some research. Kid had just graduated high school last year. Basically, going up to this game that was so bad, I got asked if I wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my kid was playing. I'm like, let me wrap my kid's game in Carthage and we'll send somebody from there over to La Harpe. And I had it all worked out, ready to go. I think I sent it like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, which is kind of late when you're trying to schedule something for the next day.
Right.
Wake up to a text in the morning. I got it covered. Thanks for offering.
Okay.
And then that night it was just a show. Like, it was bad. But we ended up doing the regional championship of that same regional. And then, the team that we did it for ended up winning state,
Mm-hmm.
So you guys got beat by the team that won state.
Yeah, and I mean there was some good competition over the year,
yeah.
but before we get into the other side of this, which I know all of us probably feel strongly about, even though I'm not an official, what do you think? I mean, each of you, what most memorable game, favorite game you've ever officiated,
Ooh.
and probably stick with basketball. I mean, I know you did baseball.
Actually, I have a lot of baseball games I loved. Got one right off the top of your head?
I don't. I'm trying to think.
Hard thing to think about.
Man, I got
This is
so
hard.
many that I want to talk. The hard thing is like, because I don't know if we can say names,
Right.
it makes it harder to talk about it because I don't want to like throw some kids out there. The ones I would talk about aren't even in school anymore, so it doesn't really matter. But there for a while, the IW girls had a good run.
It's been real fun to see West Hancock boys
Oh,
the last several years.
they've been phenomenal.
They've been awesome.
But honestly, been back with Megan Hale was great.
Oh, uh-huh.
I mean, these girls were phenomenal. I mean, worked hard. They were good in junior high, and that's one of the things that I got to see full circle.
Yeah.
I remember doing their 7th grade year, and I think they went like deep into the playoffs. I think 8th grade they almost won state. Then in high school they were good. And I know we're getting away from the whole topic of one game, but just watching that group through the 7 years, that was probably what I would say. Something like that.
That makes sense.
I mean, you get a lot of like. I went down to Southeastern this past year and I had a double overtime game. It was a fun game, but it wasn't good.
Mhm.
No, it was both teams fighting. Like we've only won 2 games. We're gonna try to get a game. The Kiwani All-Star game was pretty awesome this past year. I don't know. We've worked several good regional games together that I've enjoyed.
There's a lot out there.
Yeah,
There
it
a
really
lot.
is.
There a lot.
That's a hard question. I'm being
But
straight up honest with you.
But that's a good thing, because that means, overall, like, you do enjoy it,
Right.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
It's not like, well, there was this one game that I enjoyed last year, like, you can remember a whole bunch of
Yeah.
them, so I think that's a good thing, too.
No, like, and I think for me, it's like, you go to certain schools, and like, oh, I can't wait to see how, like, this past year, Reagan Reed. I can't wait to see how she's doing. Always been a great athlete, tremendous worker. You hear good things about her. And, then, like, on Facebook, social media changes everything these days. And you see that she has a signing day, where she's going to school. And it's like, oh, man, I can't wait to watch her. And then you go watch it, and it's like, yeah, like, that's awesome. Or a few years back, Dalton Strode from BPC. I consider him a pretty good friend after now. And he was nailing, like, a half-court shot in the game,
Yeah.
And I was just like, that was fun, Actually, I do have a favorite game. I will say it now. Abby Donaldson from BPC.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes down, we have a tie game and I get to call the 3-point shot. Like, I'm right there, and they run this play to put her over on the left wing, and she nails the 3-pointer as time expires.
Nice.
And I'm the one that gets to signal it. And I'm like, nah, that was probably awesome. Local kid. I'm from here. I've known Abby for her whole life. I've seen her grow up. That was probably one of them. That's a full circle moment. Like, oh yeah, And then she went on to play college ball. So I'd pick something like that. So
yeah.
You got anything like that yet?
Nope, I don't.
How many years have you been passed with the IHSA?
This will be 9 years.
9?
9 years.
So,
yes. Yep.
And then, so the first few games we worked with each other, let's say. Mm-hmm. How did you rate me? Was I an asshole?
Oh yeah, you were terrible. You were terrible. I never wanted to fish with you ever again. Never again.
Yeah,
that seems right.
Yeah.
No. I think we had fun. You were kind of one of the first ones I got told that, like, hey, he's new, you're gonna work with him, and that's when I felt old. Mm-hmm. Like, oh shit, they put me with the new guys. Like, you start getting that dynamic of, hey, you have to train people now. I'm like, I don't even do a good enough job to train people.
Right, exactly. When did I become a role model in this?
So, and now, Keegan does a great job. He's phenomenal. He sticks to it, and I like that. So, obviously something worked out there. And I won't take credit for it. You worked hard yourself,
I think that's something that came up a lot just through all of that, It just, and myself, like I said, I coach, but you guys as officials and everything, when you do this for a long time, and you mentioned it, kind of those full circle moments,
yes.
The people that we started coaching with, which would have been around the time that you started officiating, they're now in junior high.
Yeah.
And you're actually getting ready to see them blossom into athletes and do these things,
right.
And you're like, man, that is great to see,
Yep.
So... but now we can move on to the side of it that is more difficult.
So, Kyle makes a Facebook status the other day of, what do you want to hear on the podcast? I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. And I'm late to the game. They've already had their comments on it. Keegan gets on there like heckling basketball umpires. I'm like, wait, what? And you responded, not knowing who he was.
Right.
Which I thought was like, oh, it's great
This
for me.
is good.
Like, you're ready to roast his ass and like get after it and stick with him. And I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good. Yeah.
I was actually on the side of it when he brought this up, and not knowing who he was, that like people are fucking ridiculous about this.
They are.
I mean, honestly. And some of it, oh man, we had an episode several weeks ago that we did good baseball heckles.
Yeah.
Man, if you'd asked me during basketball season, I probably could have come up with something.
So one of my favorite things, and you've seen it too, over the back.
Oh,
over the back. I'm like, there's no fucking call for that in the book.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. So many people think they know the rules, and they're yelling about shit that it's like, that's not a foul.
Yeah.
I mean,
but nothing. I remember I was working with Tucker, a Pokeboy member of ours and a buddy, and I'm with him, and I'm sick. It's 8 a.m. game on a Saturday morning. You don't want to do those junior high games, but I'm doing it. And some fan from Pittsfield yells at me, over the back, I'm like, I don't have this signal in my...
Yeah.
And they're just like, what? And like,
well, and then you get those fans, and sometimes it's a whole fan base, and sometimes it's a specific fan.
Yes.
But you get those fans that are yelling or crying wolf on every single fucking play, and at some point they make a good point, like, hey, that was a foul, and you're like, yeah, it probably was. I might have missed that, because nobody's perfect.
Right.
But the fact that they fucking said so much over the course of the game, you've tuned them out of that.
Right.
It's like you sound like an idiot because you think every single thing is going against you.
Exactly. And my thing is like, so if you're dribbling a ball, you do not have the right to run straight through the defender. And so many people don't understand that. Like, I am notorious for calling charges. Like, people are like, you call too many. You can't just run people over.
Right.
We didn't have legal guardian position, but you just plowed into him. Like, and I know nowhere in the book does it say they have to give given a chance to establish legal guardian position. I know that. But I'm not going to sit here and discredit a player because an offense is being a ramrod. Yeah. And I will not ever call a foul for you driving between 3 people and trying to shoot a layup. That's not good basketball, right? I'm not bailing that out. Like, I probably shouldn't say this stuff because if the wrong person watches it, it might not get there. But guess what? I don't care. Like, when did we start teaching such bad basketball,
I think the one that I hear the most from the fans, and it's like, sit down. The over the back thing drives me crazy
Yeah.
because everybody wants to yell over the back, and I'm like, you sound stupid. Like, but every player, whatever, travel. That's a travel. Like, shut the fuck
The
up.
problem is
Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's
it,
not.
honestly, I'll be honest with you, it is.
Yeah.
Kids travel every single time they touch the ball anymore because it's not a fundamentalist tide anymore.
Right.
And what do you watch when you watch the NBA?
Oh, they've got so many steps, especially on the approach to the basket.
Yeah, like,
And I will say, and I want to throw this in here before either one of you say it, because I feel like not being part of this probably means a little bit more than you guys just defending yourselves. But I don't think people realize, and I realize not doing your job, but being a coach down there, sitting up in the stands, you can see so much more than the people on the floor. And you may see a travel, you may see a charge, you may see something that the official or the coach doesn't see because they're eye level. You're looking at the whole thing.
Right.
And so many people don't realize that. It's like, get your ass up and get down there on the court, and you're going to miss a lot.
Right. So here's my thing. It's hard to keep up with some of these kids.
Oh, it is.
They're
Oh,
fast.
yeah.
They're fast. And maybe we should be in shape more, but that's beside the point.
Let's not get drastic here.
But let's say you're getting a fast break, and the one thing you're trying to do is stay at a decent distance, maintain your stride, and not trip and fall.
Yeah.
And then you're halfway through, and a pain shoots up your leg, and you're like, oh, what was that? And you miss what happened because I don't know what just happened.
Right.
Or have you ever had shin splints yet?
Oh, yes.
When you have shin splints, it's almost impossible to officiate. Your mind just will not leave those alone.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, this hurts so bad. I just missed that. Oh, hit the pain. Oh, I just missed that too. And it doesn't go away.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think you've done better. I do it a lot on fast breaks, getting behind the play and getting that better angle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't beat it.
Right,
Stay behind
exactly.
it.
Yeah, just wait.
You can see it a lot better than
you know.
trying to beat to the spot.
And what I love is this two-hand touch. I can play defense like this. Wow. Like, it literally says in the rule, you can't put two hands on the defender now. It doesn't say you have to move them. Like,
I will say one thing I've noticed too, and I mean, maybe you guys don't agree with this, and that's fine. One thing that I think I've noticed when it's come to basketball over the last couple of years is there's more emphasis on trying to get that jump ball than actual true ball handling. Like it used to be
100%.
trying to get the ball around the defender. You see some really good ball handling. Now it's run up and don't worry about guarding the shot. Don't worry about guarding the player. Put your fucking hands on the ball.
Yes.
And it's like it slows down the whole pace of the game.
right.
And sometimes it gets ridiculous. I mean, it's good to knock a ball loose. You almost see like the peanut punch sometimes in basketball.
Yeah, right.
But
You do.
like, again, all defense, everything goes out the window, and they just run up and grab that ball, and it gets ridiculous.
And the worst thing that's getting worse is the fouls.
The fouls, yes, very much so.
Oh, man. And it got so bad that we changed the way we shoot bonuses.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. You like it? You like doing the 2 shots at 5 fouls?
yes, straight. I don't have to remember blah, blah, blah. It was just a straight thing every time,
Nice.
So once you hit bonus, it's 2 shots. Like, I think it takes away from the intentionals because I'm not going to give you 2. Before I would have gave you 1, you might miss it, and then you get your second one or whatever. But now it's 2, and it's like that's 2 points. I'm not giving you 2 points, And I think it's holding players more accountable. But there was a couple games last year. In 4 quarters, we were over 60 fouls,
Really.
and that's freaking
That
ridiculous.
is insane.
Like 2 or 3 years ago, I was ready to get out of this because I was thinking more about just making money versus just officiating, and that's hard. You get into basketball, and Christmas is coming up for your kids, or you're wanting to buy this over the holidays, or Black Friday's coming up. They got this cool deal, so like they're thinking about the money. And when I took a step back, I was like, take a deep breath, and just do this for the kids. I started caring less about how long the game took.
Yeah.
I don't want it to take 2 hours. I don't want to take an hour and a half for a junior high game. But if it does, it does. I kind of made my peace with that. And once I did that, I felt myself doing better.
Along those lines, do you think that it's become more of an issue with maybe kids giving a lot of attitude back to you guys as officials? Because I think I see that more. But
I've seen that a lot more this year. I've had a lot more problems this year with kids, especially the middle schools are more just the and one type of attitude. The high schools are more of cockiness, and that's one thing I want to be respected.
Right.
You know, that's my biggest thing. I ask to be respectful to me. I'll be respectful to you.
You're not coming in with an agenda.
Correct.
So-
Correct.
Exactly.
Yeah, how many games do you care who wins?
None.
Like,
None.
like you,
Zero.
you go in there, I want to see a good, clean basketball game, and I want you guys to have fun.
Right.
And the second you start getting attitude, whack. Which is funny you brought that up. I just told him this year, 15 seasons in, with my highest technicals I've ever called.
Really.
I've gone through seasons where I've never called one. I'm very lenient. Obviously, I can't hear, so that helps out.
Must be nice, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
you just tune them all.
Yeah.
so maybe I miss out on a lot of what kids say in the court because I'm not watching or listening.
Right.
You know. But unless you get up there and you're wagging the finger, I'm gonna let it go. But I was always big into the warning, and I don't know if it's just because I'm in my 30s now or I'm pissy or whatever.
Get off my lawn,
I
Dad.
just don't whack. I'm tired of this. Like,
Yeah.
and part of me believes like 3 of them that I did came from schools that didn't care.
Yeah.
So they're allowing that behavior, right? I mean, you
Oh,
see
yeah.
that too.
Yes.
Like every official will be like, man, and you could talk about it, like, hey, I was over here this night, and every official you talk to is gonna be able to pick that school out.
Gotcha.
That's how bad it is, you know. And you get some coaches out there, like I remember Tony Akers, who was a football coach of mine when he was coaching the girls here, would ride my butt every single game trying to get me to tee him up. I would
Really?
never do it. Come on. I'm like, no, that's what you want.
Right.
You're
Right.
gonna coach this damn game. You're gonna stand up and you're gonna do it. You know. So it's probably the back talk attitude. I don't feel like I get a lot of it. I think I have the reputation like I'll whack your ass so quick and you're gonna be out of this game. You know.
And I think that makes a difference too, is them just knowing that they're not going to get away with
Yeah.
it.
Right.
You know, if they smell that blood in the water where you let it go once, it kind of keeps going. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense too.
And part of it is the age thing. He's a little younger, and he's doing games working with newer officials. And if you're not as authoritative, they start trying to walk all over you.
Definitely
And that-
coaches in general, varsity basketball.
Oh.
You know, they see a young guy come out, younger, and they're going to eat him alive. They're going to try and get over. They want, and I've noticed that the last 2 or 3 years during varsity games is anymore, I just ignore you. I'm not going to put up with it. I'm done. I'm not going to listen to you.
And they'll come up and they'll ask you a question, and they'll twist the words so bad.
Yep.
It's like, wait, what? And then you look at it after the game, like, oh yeah, that's the rule. Like that's what I should have told him. But the way they word it in your mind, in the heat of the moment, you're like, I don't know what you just asked me.
Like
And
they're
you
trying
look-
to trip you
Yes.
up. Yeah.
And you're like, and then you just look stupid, you know.
And truly, I think a lot of that is probably, coaches just trying to get something to go their way
Yeah,
instead
it
of
is.
actually trying to determine the rule.
Yes.
Like they're just pissed
Oh,
off.
they're not trying to pick a rule. They're trying to get you to explain why you did something, but making you sound like you don't know why you explained it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And actually, West Hancock's coach was one that got me a few years back.
Uh-huh.
And he's a very, very good coach. He's very good at what he does. And he asked me this question, I just stared at him. My partner comes over and explains it for me. And I'm like, what did he ask me again?
What are you
Like,
saying?
And they're like, you know the rule. It's just the way you worded it. And then I started paying attention more.
Yeah.
No, once something happens to you, we take these tests every year, and you're like, I've never seen that. That ain't gonna happen. And then when it does,
Yeah.
you're like, oh shit, that's why we take the
That's
test.
what we.
So how many games did you do total last year?
I over 160.
Wow.
Wow, that used to
Yeah.
be me. I
Yeah.
don't do that anymore.
Yep, I did some tournaments down in Southern Illinois on the weekends, and they were 12, 13 games for the day. That adds up pretty quickly. And then working Monday through Saturday from girls middle school basketball to varsity basketball, and everything in between. It's a lot of games. It
That
adds
is
up.
a lot of games. That's an MLB season.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I've been up to the 180, 200 mark several times in my career. Like last year I did, I think 92 or 91, something like that. So,
Nice.
which is the least amount I've done since 2017. So, other than that, it's been over 180.
Oh, gotcha.
And most of that was because Bryson was playing.
Right.
So I was watching him. I don't like to referee on Saturdays anymore because I have kids. And I try to be present with my kids.
Yeah. You got
And,
other priorities coming in.
And a lot of it was, there was a lot of games, like some Bushel for one, only had one game a night now, the Bushel. Or JV, you're only playing one, you're not playing two.
Yes. Yep.
So you throw in 10 to 20 of those, you just lost 20 to 30 games, 20, 40 games, whatever. So
Right.
That starts adding up pretty quick. But yeah, props to you, man. I don't do that 12, 13 games weekend stuffing. I used to. Won't do
That's
it
a
anymore.
lot.
Look, that $55 a game.
It is. We're at 50-55 right in there. Free,
so-
free food, free water. You know.
You go
That's
in there,
up.
and
Yeah.
some people, if they don't have anything, can work out Saturday, Sunday, and that's their week's paycheck.
Right.
You know, which is good. So,
Yeah.
GTR.
Yeah.
We had to push our favorite subject back because Keegan was here. So, Cubs won again today.
They won again today, so they swept the White Sox, but I can't get over the Miami issue. We dropped the
Dude,
series to the Marlins.
I don't care about that.
Come on, man.
We had 4 people in double-digit home runs.
I know.
PCA is playing better than Otani.
He's playing great.
Like, the train's gonna stop eventually.
The whole
But I'm riding that damn thing until we stop.
the whole outfield, dude. You got
Oh, my
Tucker, you
God.
got PCA, you got Suzuki. They're all raking. They're all playing great
Yep.
defense. I mean, Hap's hurt, but honestly, nobody's noticed
Yeah.
because our outfield is doing so well.
Yes.
Cade
We have-
Morton got his first start the
Yeah.
other day.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
I was excited about that. I've been calling every call of great. Loving that. Just hire me to the MLB now.
We had that bullpen appearance the previous week, but it was like
Yeah.
wasn't a lot. It was good to see.
Honestly, I didn't know how our start was gonna go.
Right.
I was nervous. I'm like, oh man, I talked about this. I love this guy. I'm big on him. And they actually did pretty well. Like, I consider it a quality start.
Well, and the bats backed him up.
Yes.
That was the thing.
Yeah.
They kept plenty of pressure on
Honestly,
him,
the bats
so-
have backed up the entire bullpen, pitching,
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
Like, we shouldn't be losing games. I understand why you're salty about Miami. So,
I
you're
just-
not a Cub fan, though.
No, I can't stand the Cubs.
Oh,
no.
really? What's your
I'm a
team?
big Cardinals fan.
Right on our heels.
Yes,
They are
we are
right
finally
there.
have finally kicked in, and we are finally on the positive side of it. You know, last year was a total disaster for us,
Mm-hmm.
and going into this year, you know, we were losing that streak, and I thought another year of being done, and
Yeah.
we are finally have clicked. So we'll see.
And I was actually just talking to my brother-in-law about this earlier because he's a big Cardinals fan, and really didn't do a whole lot in the offseason
we did
of the
not.
team.
No.
And it really just looks different this
Yep.
year. And I don't know where your schedule is at. We've been talking a lot. You know, April, March, we had a really strong schedule, you know, compared to the rest of the league. Now we're kind of in the easy part. We face Miami again and then Cincinnati, and I think the Rockies after that. So we're in a good place, but where's your schedule at right now? Is it rough?
I think it's rough.
Is it?
Yes. Yep. You know, we lost today, which I was hoping we'd win, get a series win. It is what it is. And we're off tomorrow.
Okay.
We're back on Tuesday. I'm trying to think who we play.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Trying to think.
You can Google it if you want.
Yeah, you can look.
Sometimes we have to do that, pull
Yeah,
our phones out,
yeah.
and stuff like people expect us to memorize all this shit, and it's not gonna happen.
Well, in the next week, while he's looking that up, because like I said, we usually talk about what the next week looks like. We're
Yeah,
flying
exactly.
down to Miami tomorrow, and then we're going to Cincinnati. So the next week is all away games, but they're still easier teams. So
So we're down in Florida, back to Cincy. Not terrible travel.
Right.
Should be fine. Go down to some warmer weather, which is good because up here the weather sucks.
And
It's
it's
supposed to
kinda
rain
shitty
like
right
2 or 3
now.
days, so that could be good. So
For the Tigers, for 3 games, then we're
Okay.
Diamondbacks. Which Tigers
Detroit.
31-8, I think, is what they are.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're playing pretty tough. So
they're
yeah,
they're leading
that's a
their
tough one.
division in a tough division.
Mhm.
Last time I
Yeah.
checked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had a buddy just Snapchat me right before this. Said if the playoff were to start today, 4 people out of that AL Central would make the playoffs.
Wow.
Oh, that's nuts.
Yeah, that's a tough division right
Yeah.
now. And I have a feeling as this year goes on through the summer, the Cubs and Cardinals are probably going to trade that lead a
Yep,
lot.
yep.
And then we'll see what happens when we get closer to October.
I'll tell you what's gonna happen. Milwaukee,
Milwaukee comes up, yeah, like they do every fucking
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
And you're like, where the hell were they at? Yeah.
and then we're fighting for the last wild card
Uh-huh.
spot and pissed off. You know.
yeah.
I mean,
Sounds about right.
it is unrealistic to think that Chicago can go the distance with the banged up pitching.
I know, and I see so many people, and it's crazy. I don't know if it's like this with Cardinal fans. I would actually be interested to hear if it is. But, like, we follow all these Cubs fans on Facebook, and they are either, holy shit, we're World Series bound, we're the best team in the league, and then you lose a game, and they're like, fucking terrible, sell the team, he needs to lose his job. And I'm like, Jesus, guys, it's a long season.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, 162 games. I
It's
mean,
a long- yeah.
Yeah, you know. What's it looking like for the Cardinals? Like, you guys pretty hopeful right now?
I mean, I'm hopeful. I'm not a big fan of where we're at what's what I'm looking for in the like John Mazalik, the president. I'm not a fan of him.
Yeah.
I was a Mike Schilt fan when he was when he's the manager, and after what happened to him, I've lost some respect for that front. We'll see. John's out after this year, so maybe things will change. I know they've been big on selling the team. Well, not selling the team, but big front office changes in this last year and this year. Because of our bad record. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, and I think you have that. Sometimes those changes are really better.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, who's your favorite Cardinals player right now?
Probably Arenado. I love Nolan.
That's a safe bet. Yeah. Actually,
Okay.
Well, Contreras. I love Contreras. Another good one.
I just like saying that.
New bar.
Hesley,
I mean, I think you have to pick Arenado. He's probably your best player. So.
I was going to say Contreras was my favorite Cardinal, but I guess that Arenado's a good guy, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're a Cub, though,
Right.
So you're going to say that, Cardinal fans, they're not picking a catcher ever again. They had 28,000 years of Yachty, and he's a god.
Yeah.
You ever try to talk down on him, you're probably going to get shot.
Right.
But, you had Pujols, Yachty, Edmonds, Roland. They've had all these legends, and Arenado.
We're known for baseball.
We have 2016. That's all I'm going
We
to
have
say.
2016. We have that 1 year.
It was the most watched World Series, and even Cardinal fans love that.
I think even if you were not a Cubs fan, that World Series and specifically that Game 7 was awesome baseball.
I would agree.
Like, you look at that, and it's one of those reasons, you see people say all the time, like, it's hard not to be, sentimental about baseball.
Yeah.
Just because sometimes those things just happen.
So I actually have a buddy that during the World Series lost his voice
Oh, really?
so bad he had to get surgery on it.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
He couldn't talk like ever, and then he finally got it fixed. He's like, I hope they don't make it to another World Series. It's like, I won't make it. So that's nuts. But, obviously the Cub-Cardinal rivalry, that's as old as baseball gets. I mean, I do like the fact that you're not out here just trying to start a fight. You're having a good debate. We're having fun with it, so that's cool. You never know where it's going to go.
No.
Some Cub fans and Cardinal fans, like, you can't put them in the same room together.
Right.
I
think it's a fun rivalry.
It is. I mean, I don't know that we're like Boston and the Yankees. Those guys fight, kill each other, but maybe Cardinal fans do. We just don't. But
I think just growing up, like we said, where we're almost directly in the middle. It's 3.5, 4 hours to St. Louis, 3.5, 4 hours to Chicago. So everybody in this area is almost a Cubs Cardinals fan. If you hated all Cardinals fans, you wouldn't have a lot of friends, and vice versa. Like everybody's intermixed. So
yeah. So then you got that occasional Royals or White Sox.
Yeah.
Because they were within that mix too.
Well, and you always have those Yankees, Dodgers, people that are just planted here, like.
Well, I got to watch Jeter. Well, yeah, okay. Of course you're going to pick them. Like, he was awesome. Last week in baseball was exciting for Cub fans, unless you hate Javi Baez, which we kind of do. But anyway, in a 4-minute span, there were 3 walk-offs.
And they were all former Cubs.
Or current Cubs.
Or current Cubs, yeah.
Just saying.
And that day alone, they had 5 walk-offs.
5, yep.
But they were not former Cubs, so it was just like kind of a crazy day anyway.
Yeah. So, and I remember, not very often are we watching games in different houses, but a group chat that we have was blowing up. Nico all excited because it was his birthday and he scored the winning run and all that stuff. And then I realized like a minute later, oh shit, Javi just walked it out. I'm like, what the hell? And then you read that stat the next day and you're like, well, that's nuts. Like, because that doesn't happen very often, Like, you don't see all these awesome moments happening every day. So.
Right.
All right, enough baseball talk. Let's get into Memorial Day. What do you do to celebrate the day off work that everybody gets?
We're going golfing this coming weekend again.
There you go.
Other than that, I will probably be working. It's supposed to rain this week, so get pushed back, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Drinking beer, like usual, so.
What's your go-to beer?
Busch Light. I'm a Busch Light guy. Michelob, so.
So that's another sponsor we could probably have.
Yeah, so we'll take any sponsor. Just throw us some fucking money and we'll represent you.
Right.
Next thing I know, it could be for condoms or something.
That's going to be awkward to represent on the podcast, but we will figure it out.
I got ideas.
Okay. What are you doing for Memorial Day then?
I actually told my boss last week, I said, I think I'm going to take this Friday off. I want to go golfing.
Okay.
I only golfed one fundraiser this year. I just asked him what he was doing. I know I've asked you.
Mhm.
I'd like to get a group and just go out, whether it's a local one or meet somewhere and play some golf. I have last couple of years I don't get to do it very often, and I've kind of made a promise to myself, like I'm giving so much to my kids, my wife, my community. I need to give something to myself too. You know.
That makes sense. Make some time for you.
I mean, you've been busy the last few years of school. You're always busy. Like, to keep that happy medium and the balance and the reason to keep pushing, you got to have your me time.
Right.
You got to do something for yourself, you know. And this year, I'm thinking about selling all my slow pitch softball gear. I'm done on that. I'm burning out. Started playing when I was 15, and there was a stretch of 4 years I played 7 nights a week.
Right.
You know, and I'm just ready to be like, you know, golfing. There's a lot more laid back. My body doesn't hurt the next day. No.
And I think obviously I'm hanging up softball. I already actually sold my bat, so I think I'm done with that. I was thinking the same thing. Golf would be a great thing to come into. Last year, since you don't know, I was playing outfield and partially tore my ACL,
Oh, wow.
and I was just like, this is it for me. Like, I'm good.
Fucking nuts. He tears it. Continues playing. And then we get to the end, he's like, we played a doubleheader, and he's like, yeah, I can't play the next one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, you know, whatever. 2 days later, he's like, yeah, so I'm like, I feel like an asshole.
I was sitting there between the two games with a bush light on my knee, like trying to ice it, and we got out into the second game, and I remember I hit just like a bloop single, and I went to run to first base, and I was like, I'm done, dude. I don't think I can do this. My knee was huge.
You didn't even look out of the batter's box on that.
I
He's
didn't even make it to first base. I was just like,
Yeah.
I can't go. Something's wrong here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for me, I agree. It's time to find something that is a little bit smarter of a hobby,
Yeah.
I think. So,
You know, and the competitive nature that had gotten stupid in men's league softball is ridiculous. Like, I remember I've never been a good pitcher for softball. Like, I'm a batting practice kind of guy, and I took one off the shin and I walked off the field, like off a guy who can hit the ball anywhere he wants on the field.
yeah.
So why the fuck are you hitting it at me? Like, I have a family I'm trying to raise. I don't need to bust my knee up because you want to hit middle. Like, and people are like, oh, well, further position, don't be a pussy. Like, no, fuck you. Like,
Right.
that's the shit I'm talking about. Like, I'm over it. Like, I don't care anymore to prove that I'm more manly than you and do this. Like, what do you get from that, you know? Now, I've heard several guys, well, I did my job in a wheelchair. Why the hell do you want to?
Yeah.
Do you understand how you sound right now? Like,
Well, and I know, like, there were several times last year, even before I got hurt, and we were playing Sundays, and we both said, like, why are we not golfing today? Why are we not doing something
Right, no
different?
shit.
You know?
Yeah.
Why are we here? So, and we had a great group of friends. We had a great team.
we did.
you know,
It was fun. It was chill.
But it just,
Yeah.
not in it.
But
So,
I've actually all but contemplated just putting them on and see what I can get. And then I'm like, I should go beat the piss out of them and break them so nobody else can use them. But that'd be stupid. But
be a little dumb.
over the top. But whatever. But no, Memorial Day, I used to for like 3 years straight. I went up to Wrigley.
Okay.
You know, loved doing that. Did that with some older buddies back in the day. And then I got married on Memorial Day weekend. So my anniversary usually around it.
Yeah.
And then 4 years ago, our youngest kid came 6 weeks early. And that was around Memorial Day weekend. So now it's usually fucking birthdays and anniversaries. So
There you go.
whoop whoop. You know? So it'll be good. You know, we'll have some cookouts. I'm sure we'll hang out with you a little bit. Probably go down to Spring Lake where my family's camping, do something down there. Good times, you know.
Yeah.
Drink some beer and chill. So
It'll be nice. Just take a little breather.
yeah, what you'll
So.
be doing too, right?
Yeah, I work the weekend, but my hours are cut a little bit. We have holiday hours, so that helps.
With holiday pay.
I don't get holiday pay, dude. I'm salary. But in a way, like, okay, so you think about it, we're going to be open for 6 hours and I'm going to get paid for 10. So call it holiday pay if you want, you know?
I mean, I
So, I mean,
It'd be nice.
I
you
can,
know.
wait, I can go with that.
I was going to say, so I can't complain too much,
Yeah.
but yeah.
That'll be fun. So hopefully you guys get out and get to do something. And then really it's then you just grind away for June until July 4th, and you get something else. So
That's true.
so we won't get Flag Day off. All we get is
Worked every Arbor Day. No.
we should get Father's Day off. Since
I
we're
would
working
hope
so
so.
hard all year, but that's not going to happen.
So in other news, I read today, I actually hadn't heard anything about this, but the Kansas City Chiefs and the Kansas City Royals are actually considering relocating. So, and I hadn't heard anything about this,
Yeah.
but I'm not a Chiefs fan, not a Royals fan.
But yeah, exactly. So why would you hear about it? Yeah.
But apparently both of their stadium leases, they're done by 2030, so in the next 4 or 5 years. And they voted to increase taxes in Jackson County, Missouri, to build new stadium or do stadium upgrades. And the taxpayers in Jackson County turned it down. So now the latest saga in this is that Kansas, the state of Kansas, is trying to give incentives like, we'll build you a new stadium, we'll build you a new field, we'll put the Royals in the middle of Kansas City, Kansas, with all kinds of development around you if you move across state lines. And they're actually talking about it.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Right.
As an owner, you're going to do that.
As an owner, you're going to do that. Even with the taxpayers in Jackson County, do you really want all that money going away?
You're going to lose it.
I mean, especially like the Royals, okay, and nothing against them, but the Chiefs, dude, they've been crazy successful.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't like
The
it's the
Royals won a
fucking
World
Jaguars.
Series, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's not like, do you really want these franchises leaving?
The best thing is, so last December I went down to a Chiefs game, and that's a great setup they got there.
Yeah.
You got this massive parking lot around both of them.
Right.
Like, that's the Chiefs Stadium, and then the Royals is right over there. You can see it, like, it's plain as day. So, yeah, I'm with you. Like, why do you want to lose all the sales tax? No, that's stupid.
And I would assume that a lot of Jackson County are probably Chiefs and Royals fans.
I mean, why wouldn't you be?
So there's got to be something sentimental because Arrowhead is one of the oldest stadiums in the NFL. So, I mean, I feel the same way about them talking about moving Soldier Field for the Bears. Like, why would you want to do this? And especially across state lines, like, that's probably huge.
Oh, it really is huge. I mean, I can't fathom why anybody, like, if we had, let's put it between us, if we had a pro team in Macomb,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that would want that to leave.
Correct.
Like, even though I could run down there and sit in the outfield bleachers and get like $9 beers and hang out on a random day because it's only a 25-minute drive,
Yeah.
versus I have to plan a whole day to go to it because it's 3.5 hours away. Like, why would you want that? Plus the atmosphere of always having a ball game around here.
Yeah, and like the pride. I mean, because I think when I looked this up, and I may have this wrong, if it's wrong, somebody out there correct me, but I think that both of these are located squarely in Jackson County. So like not only a state thing, but all of those county taxes are coming from both of them too. So
Gotcha.
I don't see why you would want to do this.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to hear Jackson Mahomes bitch about it on TikTok, honestly.
Jackson's gonna do some weird TikTok dance. Brittany's gonna cry about it because they got to do something else.
Does Taylor Swift get involved? Like,
If Taylor Swift gets involved, she probably buys the team and does whatever the hell.
but
We're gonna put it in Canada.
the other part about this, and maybe we're just completely speculating and this doesn't happen, but the NFL has made expansion teams before, and there's been a lot of overseas games that are gaining steam and everything
It's
like
coming.
this. So who's to say that the Kansas City Chiefs all of a sudden were like, we're not going to be in Jackson County anymore. Kansas gives them a deal, but then Mexico City says, hey, we'll do this. Do they move clear the fuck away?
Yeah. And then the Hunt family's like, yeah, it's only gonna make us richer because we're paying Mexico taxes.
Right.
Well, fuck that is. Probably a couple of goats and whatever. But
Yeah, no clue. But I mean, yeah, I think it could be huge. And
no,
I hadn't heard about it at all.
yeah.
So-
So obviously it's 2025. I don't know how to look that up, but it's 20. That's 5 years away. So you would like to think they would do something to keep this.
And you got to work it out soon, right? Because if they're leaving, then you got to start making those.
I mean,
things.
so how long does it take to build a stadium? 3 years?
Well, I mean, Vegas. Has Vegas finished theirs yet?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I think they put it in last year.
Okay, so yeah, Vegas finished it. So I mean, probably a year or two, because you think about even LA, they built theirs pretty fast. So
Yeah,
enough
but-
money's in it.
They were planning already
Yeah,
to
that's
build
true.
it. Like these guys don't have plans yet. I mean, surely they probably are by now.
Oh, I'm
But-
sure. I'm sure Kansas City, Kansas has huge plans
Yeah.
for them. You know?
Yeah, but as an owner, you're probably gonna want your own design.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Hunt family's gonna be like, no. We'll put no sweet in there, blah blah blah. We're doing all this stuff.
Right.
You think? Like,
You would think.
I don't know.
I mean, did he really play that bad in the Super Bowl that now they want to kick him out of the state?
You guys play that shit.
Get out. But
I
no.
mean, sure, I like that thought. Not as fan. I'm not a Chiefs fan at all.
Not
Like,
either.
I hate it. Like,
Can't stand
we
it.
watched Tom Brady and the Patriots dynasty. I haven't really seen another one. Fuck off. Well, let's keep it on going to what were they thinking?
Well,
I didn't send you the meme, so, and this topic, Kyle.
this is where all of your officiating money is probably going this year.
Found this. We don't know if it's true or not. Did you Google this and look at it?
I can't tell. There's a whole news story about it. But the news story is on several different sources. So apparently this guy in Oregon is opening a strip club called Granny Grinders, and all of the dancers will be 65 or older.
65 and older. There's going to be bingo and 0 teeth are required.
Yes. Bingo and booze.
That'd be fun, you know.
Well, and I looked it up, and this guy actually, about 10 years ago, made a strip club for pregnant women. And people gave him a lot of shit about that, and 10 years later, it's still open. Which, according to this article,
Damn.
I'm serious, like, and it sounds crazy to me, but at the same time, I guess if you get enough people that are into this, it's still fucked up.
I think I'm going to Oregon this weekend.
My question is, do they have, like, complimentary Werthers? You know, like those old butterscotch discs that Grandma gave you? Like, you come in and you pop one in and you're just watching Grandma.
Grandma, your breath smells.
Is their insurance okay? Like,
She just broke her fucking head.
right. They take frequent breaks, you know?
Like, when we talk about this, you get there and freaking grandma just breaks you in half. She's so rough. Like, damn! Like,
Well,
that's nuts.
just like picks it up and puts it actually like.
Grandma, don't take those things off. That's not gonna be good.
I just.
Breaks her kneecap because it hits it.
Yeah. It seems like a foreign concept to me, but I'm sure there's some people that are into that, but is there enough people into that to support a business?
I'm sure there's a bunch of weirdos in this world.
But do other, oh man, I don't want to offend somebody here, but we do it every week. Do other old people go there? Like, does maybe like an elderly man go there and he's like, I might have a shot with this one. Honey, take your teeth out. Like, what do you know? But somebody come get your grandma.
Yeah.
This is,
Grandma won't get off the stage. She's stuck. I can't move my leg.
where am I?
Grandma with dementia doesn't remember what she's doing.
I mean, I guess, you know, if you build it, they will come. I don't know. It just seems weird.
But you got to think about it. Going off the foreign concept thing, everything that's been invented,
Right.
everything that's been made great started that way.
Is the shock factor enough to get people in the door? Maybe.
I would
mean,
think so.
At first, probably.
Yeah.
You know, I think at first
So-
people are curious about it.
Let's say one of these opens, theoretically Macomb, and we're all texting like, ain't nothing going on tonight. Dude, let's go check this out. Right? I
Right.
mean, that's just the natural thing. It's the natural thing.
Well,
It's not because you want to go see whatever it is. You're curious.
think about like the joke side of this. Like, hey man,
yeah, right.
I'm gonna throw you a bachelor party. I'm not giving you any details. They get in the limo, they show up. Let's go
fucking
inside. And like, what the fuck? We got you a lap dance. But man, it just
So a lap dance on a regular titty bar is one song. So for these ones, it has to be two, right? Because they're going to be slower.
or shorter, just
Half a song.
stamina.
Half a song.
Yeah, just a clip.
They can't go so long.
It's just a TikTok. That's all it
That's a
is.
TikTok. It's a Vine, baby. Let's go.
Oh man.
Keegan, what are your thoughts on this?
I don't know. I mean, it'd be interesting, but at the same time, I don't know if I really want to go and
You would
see.
go.
I would go. I'd dust off the cobwebs from them, you know. But I mean, I would go one time to see, you know.
A one-time thing.
One time, you know. There's gonna be probably some pretty ladies there that are older, you know, and
Gilfs.
Gilfs, exactly. You know, hey, they got money, you know.
Yeah!
But yeah, I mean, that's interesting.
You want to go to Logan this weekend?
Let's go. Let's do it.
You gotta supplement that Medicare somehow.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know.
My teeth are gonna be $9,000. Come on, boys. I need a new hearing aid.
Do they sign a contract? It'd have to be short contracts, right?
This isn't midgets.
Oh, I don't.
Old people.
I just mean short, like you're not signing grandma to a 10-year contract out here.
Oh yeah, she might die tomorrow. So yeah, no. Have you had a heart transplant? Have you had a stroke? Yeah, it's not the job for you.
We need a copy of your living will when you work here.
Do you have life insurance?
I've fallen and I can't get up. Yeah.
We have our own lift assist team. They're just sitting up waiting. They come running down with chairs, stretcher.
Walker parking. I don't know what. Man, this is messed up.
This stage is walker only. You're just standing there. Let's go, Evelyn, come on!
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I know you're getting ideas.
A lot of. I'm thinking of opening one right here. Garage time grannies.
Oh. Canceled!
Yeah, the 13th episode is the one we get canceled.
No, whenever we do the granny on garage
Oh,
time
when
games.
we do the grinding granny garage.
Do it. I just can see it being a hit for one time.
Would they do modern music or like old music? Like, would it be like fucking Jailhouse
Probably.
Rock?
I mean, you got to think about it. To make it be a hit, 60s nights, 70s nights.
Like age or genre?
Both.
Alright. So you're out there trying to find like Betty White on a pole, right?
Yeah. I mean, if it was very, like, Betty White, you'd be like, oh my God, I'm going to check this old ass bitch out. Like,
Oh, man.
she's out there moving better than I can, you know?
Thank you for being a friend.
God damn it.
Instead of getting a beer, you're getting like a fucking glass of milk or something, like sitting there.
Here's Grandma's cookies. It's not what I thought I was getting.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Like you go to this strip club and you wouldn't be able to not get food, right? Because they'd be like, "You want something to eat?" "No, I'm just here to watch." "No, honey, you need to eat." Like grandma's making you eat before you leave.
You need to make sure that tummy's full. What the fuck?
Oh yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, that does that episode.
Wow. So what'd you think? Your first time?
Amazing.
Yeah? Fun?
It was fun. Very fun.
So, we get off topic a lot, but that happens.
Good.
You know.
We do this might be a little bit longer episode, but I think that happens with guests too.
Yeah.
We did that with the girls also.
Yeah. No, and I don't really care. Like,
I
we're
don't-
talking about how that guest episode thing. I'm watching some of New Heights. Some of those almost 2 hours now with their guests.
Oh yeah. When people gonna watch them?
I mean, they're very famous people.
Travis and Jason are way cooler than us.
Yeah, but I mean, their guests are famous. They're bringing in like movie actors and Adam Sandler and LeBron James. And if we can get one of those, that'd be great. But I don't even know what the fuck I'd say to them.
We're getting there.
13 episodes in, 37 followers. We're almost to New Heights, baby. Let's go.
That's right.
Or New Lows, or Low Lows, or whatever the heck. you
New
call them.
lows.
New Lows.
New lows.
Do you watch Sims?
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm.
Do you watch any other podcasts?
Perfect. See, so we're top on this list.
Yeah, you are.
Up top. Yes.
Well, as always, we are on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, everywhere else that you find a podcast. We are there now. Again, if you don't want to look at our face, fuck you, but we're available audio as well.
I would definitely want to look at this face.
If your shorts keep riding up, they're going to be looking more at our face.
Well, it's a good thing I was staying right here. But until next time.
It's garage time.